Salut tout le monde, bienvenue dans le nouvel épisode de Let's Play Français avec moi, Talk. What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new episode of Let's Play Français with me, Talk, where we struggle together through a game in French. And that game today is going to be Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. So this is our second installment of Ace Attorney. I think the last one went pretty okay. I'm still at an A1 level in French, so just at the very beginning levels of French. So I made a lot of mistakes. I got a lot of things wrong, but don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's just part of the learning process. I'm going to translate a lot of things incorrectly in this series, and I'm still working on improving my pronunciation. So, you know what? I'm just going to be trying my best. D'accord? Alright, anyways, I have a few references up, just in case I need a little help. I have wordreference.com up for an online dictionary. We have Google Translate just for any little help that Google can give us. And I have forvo.com just in case there's any pronunciation issues that come up. But hopefully we won't need to rely too much on these these resources. But anyway, I think that's it. Alors, nous sommes prêts. Je pense que c'est parti. Let's go. Alright, so we're still in the first episode. We didn't get very far. We got introduced to a few characters in the last episode. But we are... Let's see if I can say something in French. Nous commençons notre premier procès. We're going to be starting our first trial. Here we go. 3 août, the 3rd of August, 10h, 10 o'clock in the morning. Tribunal fédéral, salle d'audience, numéro 2. I'm still not sure if we're using numéro here. I should look that up, but anyway. Ooh. Juge, this is the juge. Je déclare la séance ouverte pour les procès de Monsieur Paul Defesse. So, I declare, he says la séance, so in English, I think most people would think séance is some sort of spiritual ghost summoning kind of ordeal, but I think in French, it's probably just like a meeting, a gathering of people. And he says, I declare the meeting open for the trial of Mr. Paul Defesse. So in like a court drama, we'd probably hear, I call this court to order or something like that. I call this court to order for the trial of Mr. Paul Defesse, or in the English version, he's called Larry Butts. L'accusation est prête. Votre honneur. So, accusations. This, I think, would be the prosecution in English. And prête is ready, so the prosecution is ready. Votre honneur. Your honor. La défense est prête. Votre honneur. So, this is the same in English. The defense is ready. Your honor. Monsieur Wright. Ceci est votre premier procès, n'est-ce pas? Oh man, the judge is calling us out. He looks kind of angry. He says, this is your first trial, isn't it? Oui, votre honneur, je suis un peu nerveux. Well, you don't have to say it, they can probably tell. Phoenix, he says, yes, your honor, I'm just a bit nervous. Votre conduite lors de ce procès décidera du sort de votre client. I think so. You see, this votre is the same votre that we saw with votre honneur. So it's your, and then conduite. I think looks like conduct. I'm gonna guess conduct. I'm not sure what this leur is doing. I don't know really what it is anyway. But he says, I think it says your conduct in this trial, in this procès. And then you can see décidera. Obviously, it comes from the word, or it's translated to the word decide, and then this era ending I think is some sort of future conjugation of the verb. I think in general he's saying your conduct during this trial will decide what's going to happen to your client. Un meurtre est une grave accusation. So a murder is a grave accusation. Pour votre client, for your client, vous devrez vous maîtriser. There's two vous here, so one must be the subject and the other the object. So this is some kind of like reflexive thing that's happening, I think. But devrait, I think, is you must, and then maîtriser. I think the word maître is like master, so I'm gonna guess that this maîtriser is like to master. So I think it's saying to master yourself. You must master yourself. It's something like you must compose yourself or something like that. Merci, votre honneur. Thank you, Judge. Monsieur Wright, étant donné les circonstances, so étant looks like it's some sort of form of être probably, and donner is like to give, and then les circonstances, the circumstances, I think it's given the circumstances. Il serait bon de vous faire passer un petit test afin de savoir si vous êtes prêt. I know that serait is also a form of être. If you think of how's that song? It's like que sera sera, que sera sera sera. This sera is I think you usually translate that song is what will be or something like that. So this will be is the sera, and there you can see it inside the serait. So I think he says it would be good if I could give you a little test to know if you're really ready, something like that. Oui, votre honneur. Bloop. This, I think, is the gulping sound. J'ai les mains qui tremblent. My hands are shaking. Le vue qui baisse. So view is like your vision, and then baisse is like to decline. Something's getting worse. So I think you might translate this as my vision is blurring, or my vision is getting blurry. Ce test est constitué de questions simples. This test will be constant. I'm just gonna say contain because I can't think of how to fit constitute in there. But it will contain simple questions. Répondez-y de façon claire et concise. So répondez, I would translate as answer, but let's look up façon. I'm not sure what façon is. Alright, façon, a way, style. Oh, I guess it sounds like fashion. They have fashion here. Let's see. It looks like it's a noun. Okay. So it's in to do something in a certain the way you do something, I'm gonna guess. So he says answer in a clear and concise way. All right. Veuillez nous indiquer le nom de l'accusé dans cette affaire. So this veuillez, I think I've seen it a couple times, but I think it's basically a polite way of asking someone to do something. It's like a please. He says indicate to us or tell us the name of the accused in this trial or this affair. Obviously we are defending Paul de Fesse. L'accusé, bien, il s'agit de Paul de Fesse, votre honneur. So, this s'agit, I think can be translated to like it's about whatever comes after. So he says the accused, yeah, it's about Paul Defesse, or I guess you could really just say it is Paul Defesse. Your Honor. Correct. Great, we did it. Restez concentré et tout ira bien. Rester here means to remain, to stay in a certain state. And he says stay concentré, which I will guess, or I'm going to translate it as focused. He says remain focused, stay focused, and tout ira bien. Everything will be fine. It looks like ira is probably another form of être. So many forms of être. Question suivante. Next question. Ceci est un procès pour meurtre. This is a trial for murder. Quel est le nom de la victime? What is the name of the victim? Phew. Cette fois, je sais. This time, I know. J'ai bien fait de lire tout le dossier plusieurs fois. So, lire here is the verb to read. Tout means all, and then dossier is a dossier. It's like a compilation of data or whatever, like a report, right? Plusieurs is like many, and then fois is time. So he says, I've definitely read the entire dossier many times. C'est une minute. Oh man. C'est impossible. It's impossible. J'ai oublié. I forgot. C'est le trou total. So I think trou is like a blank. So he's saying like, I'm drawing a total blank. Phoenix, es-tu absolument certain d'être prêt pour tout ça? I forget if we talked about this in the last episode, but here Mia uses an inversion to form a question. I mean, you can tell that there's a question because there's a question mark at the end, but you can also tell that here in the beginning she says et tu. Usually in a normal declarative statement you'd say tu es, you are, but she inverts the subject and its verb to form the question. She says et tu instead. So are you absolument certain, absolutely certain d'être prêt pour tout ça? Are you absolutely certain you're ready for all of this? Tu ne connais même pas le nom de la victime. So this mem is, we'll start from the beginning. Tu ne connais même pas. So tu is you, connais is to know somebody, to know something. And then mem is even. So she says, don't you even know le nom de la victime, the name of the victim. Oh, la victime. Bien sûr, of course. Bien sûr que je connais le nom de la victime. Of course, I know the name of the victim. J'ai juste un petit peu oublié. I just forgot a bit. Provisoirement. Provisionally, so temporarily. Je sens que la migraine me guette. I mean, obviously she's saying, I feel a migraine coming on, right? I'm not sure what the me guette is, but it looks like a verb, right? Because it looks like it's a reflexive verb with the me. So maybe this could be a specific verb for how migraines come about, maybe. Allons, come on. Le nom de la victime est cité dans le dossier de l'affaire. The name of the victim is cited in the court dossier. Il te suffit d'appuyer sur le bouton R à tout moment, d'accord? I think suffit means to be adequate, right? So if you say like ça suffit, it means like it's enough. But I'm not sure how it's fitting in here, but appuyer is to press. So if you play a lot of video games, there's always something that says like appuyer, whatever, press like bouton R. So she says to open the dossier with the R button. We have a badge d'avocat, but it's not important right now. We just need to know who the victim is, who is Cindy, because we have here rapport d'autopsie de Cindy. Cindy's autopsy report. Deceased le 31 juillet, the 31st of July, entre 16h et 17h, between 4 and 5 p.m. Cause of death, cause du décès, hémorragie causée par un coup violent. I think coup is like an attack or maybe just a hit or something. But a hemorrhage caused by a violent hit, I'm gonna say. So I think in a court drama you'd probably hear hemorrhage due to blunt force trauma or something like that. Anyway, so we know it's Cindy. Cindy. Pense à le consulter régulièrement. Fais ça pour moi, s'il te plaît. Je t'en prie. So pense is to think. And then she says, think about consulting it regularly. Fais ça pour moi, s'il te plaît. S'il te plaît is please, and then the other part, fais ça pour moi, she says, do that for me, please. And this, je t'en prie, I think it can mean a couple different things, but I think in this case, she's just saying, she's kind of like begging in this case. She's like, please do this for me. Nous attendons votre réponse. We're waiting. So attendons comes from attendre, I think, which means, it looks like to attend, but it means to wait. So he says, we're waiting for your answer, réponse. Qui est la victime dans cette affaire? Who's the victim in this affair, in this trial? It's one of these Cindy's, and I'm not sure, they didn't say her last name, but I think it's going to be Cindy Stone because it sounds kind of punny to me. Let's try that. Le nom de la victime est Cindy Stone. Correct. Yes, we got it. Maintenant, now, dites-moi, tell me, quelle a été la cause du décès? Good. We looked that up in the autopsy report. He says, tell me what the cause of death was. Elle est morte. She was killed, empoisonnée, so poisoned. No, I think it's probably the second one because, well, I don't know what assommé is. Maybe we'll look it up in a bit, but par un objet, by an object, lourd, a heavy object. It's not this one, I don't think, because it looks like it should be strangled, étranglé. Let's look up assommé real fast. Because I know that to hit somebody is, I mean, we saw that coup, I think, is a word for hitting, but I usually see the word frapper, like, sounds like a coffee drink, right? But, let's see, what was I looking at? I'm gonna guess assommé with a R. There we go. Alright, okay, to knock out, to knock unconscious. Those are both good. So I would go with just like knocked, stunned, because no, it's not like stunned or knocked unconscious. We'll just go with like a plain knock. But yeah. See, he says frappé here. Elle a été frappée une fois. She was hit once à l'aide d'un objet contondant. And here, contondant, we see the word blunt. So she was hit with the aid of a blunt object. Correct. Got it. Vous avez répondu à toutes mes questions. So I think I mentioned this before, but I haven't learned any of the other tenses. I only know present tense. Like formally, that's all I've learned. But I think a lot of the time the past tense, one of the forms of past tense ends in this U all the time. So répondu, answered. He says, you have answered all my questions. Je ne vois aucune raison de ne pas poursuivre. So This aucune in the middle is like none at all. And then the verb here is voir, see. So the no is negating, and obviously the aucune is kind of negating there too. He says, I don't see any reason not to continue. I think poursuivre, I think usually means to like follow. But I'm going to say, I don't see any reason why we can't keep going, to continue. Vous me semblez beaucoup plus sereine. Monsieur Wright, c'est bien. Sereine, I think, is the word serene. I think you do say this word with like a hard N. I don't think this is nasal, but it might be. Yeah, maybe. No, I'm not gonna look it up in Forvo, but I'm just gonna say it with an N for now. He says, vous me semblez. So sembler is to look like something. I think, to resemble something. And then here it's with the me, so it must be reflexive. You look to me, I think, beaucoup plus sereine. You look much more serene or calm. He says, merci, votre honneur. Thanks, your honor. Parce qu'on ne peut pas dire que je me sente vraiment sereine. I mean, parce que is usually like because, and then it says on ne peut pas dire que. It's either we can't say that or one can't say that. Because one can't say that, je me sens, I don't feel myself vraiment sereine. It sounds kind of weird to me, but I think in general it means like, just because you said that, I don't feel very serene. Eh bien, commençons par une question de l'accusation. Monsieur Boulay, he says, we'll start with a question for the prosecution. Mr. Boulay. Oui, votre honneur. Comme Monsieur Wright vient de nous l'indiquer, la victime a été frappée à l'aide d'un objet. He says, like Mr. Wright has told us, the victim was frappé, was hit with the aid of an object. Pourrez-vous expliquer à la cour ce qu'était cet objet? So can you explain to the court what that object was? L'arme du crime est cette statue du penseur. So the crime weapon, does that sound right? The crime weapon? I'm just gonna say that. The crime weapon was this statue of the thinker. Elle a été trouvée par terre à côté de la victime. So L here, a lot of times you'd say L is she, but this L refers to the word statue, which is a feminine word. So here it is it. It was trouvé, found, par terre, on the ground, à côté de, next to la victime, the victim. Je vois, I see. Le corps l'accepte en tant que pièce en conviction. So it's something like, we accept this piece of evidence or something. Statut ajouté au dossier de l'affaire. The statue ajouté was added to the dossier. Statue de la forme du penseur. A statue shaped like the thinker, assez lourde, quite heavy. Right. Pense à étudier toutes les pièces à conviction ajoutées au cœur du procès. She says, think about studying all the pieces of evidence that gets added to the court during the trial, something like that. Ces éléments sont les seules armes. I don't know if there's liaison here. Ces éléments sont les seules armes dont tu disposes à la course. These elements, that sounds not natural in English. I would just say these. But she says these elements are the only weapons you have at your disposal in court. Consulte régulièrement le dossier de l'affaire à l'aide du bouton R. So consult regularly the dossier. Alright. Monsieur Boulet, l'accusation peut appeler son premier témoin. Mr. Boulet, the prosecution peut appeler, can call son premier témoin. So, their first témoin, witness. L'accusation appelle à la barre l'accusé Monsieur Defesse. The prosecution calls to the stand the accused, Mr. Defesse. Bertrand, j'ai fait quoi maintenant? So fait comes from faire, which means to do, and quoi is what here, and maintenant, now. He says, okay, boss, what do we do now? Sois attentif. Tu ne dois passer à côté d'aucune info susceptible d'aider ton client. Soit, I had to look up this word before. This soit, I think, also comes from être. It's an imperative form, so it's a way to tell somebody to do something, right? Imperative means like you're giving a command or an order. So soit is like be whatever. She's telling him to be attentif. So be attentive. Tu ne dois passer à côté de... You don't... or you mustn't. I think tu ne dois is like you must not do something. She says you must not pass, I think. You not pass à côté de, next to any info susceptible info de ton client. Something like you can't miss any information that will make your client susceptible or something like that. Tu vas être amené à répondre à l'accusation, alors tiens-toi prêt. So here we see this va future tense thing happening again. Tu vas être amené. It says you are going to be amené, which I think is like called to do something or expected to do something, it seems to me. To répondre, to respond à l'accusation, to the prosecution. Alors, tiens-toi prêt. So I think it says something like, so you need to be ready, or you need to get yourself ready. Espérant juste qu'il ne dise rien de regrettable. So espérant comes from espérer, I think is the verb, which means to hope. So just hope that he doesn't say anything regrettable. Paul monte facilement sur ses grands chevaux, ça pourrait mal tourner. I think monte is monte like to show something, I think. That might be montrer. I forget. Facilement is like easily. Sur, about. This looks weird to me because I think it says his big horses. So, or no, great. I think the grand would be like great, like good and great, because the grand comes before chevaux, which I think means horses, right? Because it's not hair. I think hair is cheveux with an E and not an A. Let's look up this. This sounds like a set phrase kind of thing. I'm gonna look up grand chevaux, maybe. Okay, here it's like a whole long thing. Monter sur ses grands chevaux. Get on your high horse. Get on your high horse. So I think in English, get on your high horse means that you feel superior to others, that you are kind of cocky and overconfident. So so he says Paul is easily overconfident or like overcocky or ça pourrait mal tourner. I think it says this could turn bad, something like that. All right, guys. I think we're gonna call it here. The prosecution has called their first witness, who is Paul Defes, and he's about to give his testimony or whatever. He's gonna interrogate Paul. But anyway, let's do a quick sauvegarde. Let's see, sauvegarde here. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode of Let's Play Français. I hope you can join me for another one in the future. But until then, à bientôt. See you next time. Salut.